Everyone, welcome back to the shop. Version 1.8.274, start date 0.13131. Limo's here. You guys can see that. I finally got it out of the grass, and I'll put up a funny video I did earlier, driving it in the backyard, going out kind of the long way around the house because it's flatter. The culvert here where the water goes, it might have made it, might not have made it, so I didn't risk it. I took it out the flat way, and the car runs just fine. I have a ton of stuff in here, so I was hoping that you guys would hang out while I empty the stuff that's in here. The car just arrived, last week, and then I went to Tail the Dragon the following day, so I haven't really had time to empty it. It's kind of sad here. I also need to get it on the battery maintainers. There's 2 batteries in it right now. There'll be 4 in total eventually. But for the new folks, I just wanted to go over the car and explain some of the stuff. Also, I have the camera way back there because the car is so damn long. As you can see, it sticks out of the garage. Like, I'll show you guys how far out so you can see it. This is the edge of the garage, and it's still out 3 feet, 2.5 feet, 3 feet, and I still have maybe another foot up front here. So it's pretty damn long. I think it's just over 25 feet long. It's a huge car, very long. It's a 1980 Cadillac Fleetwood, so it's all steel. And there's obviously been some customization to this. Tons of fiberglass work. They reinforce when they chop the top. They reinforce this. You can do pull-ups on this. The frame is actually incredibly strong. The fender flares, the front end obviously is all custom. This is steel pipe. This is actually gas line. It's what you use for gas line in a house. And so this headlight piece is about 35 pounds. The centerpiece is about 45 pounds. It's a lot of weight up front. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to do something different up there. The fiberglass work, obviously, like I said, is great. They did the rear fenders as well. All that stuff is cool. They did the door cards have got to be 40 pounds each. It's like probably 5/8 of an inch thick fiberglass. It's really thick. It's really heavy duty. The dash, there's no gauges on the dash. It's all white fiberglass. Also, the steering column was shortened because where they put the hot tub, there's a big frame on here. I'll show you. You can actually stand up here. You guys, obviously, you can't see me now, but you can walk on this whole thing. There's a platform up here. I don't want to bonk my head on stuff. So when they put this in, they put the frame ahead of the B-pillar, and that way the car doesn't fold in half when you have all this weight in here. That means they had to move the whole driver-passenger compartment forward, which means shortening the steering column, and they shortened the steering column a lot. The dash on this car would normally be about 6 inches further back from where the dash edge is right now. And so when you sit in this car, the steering wheel is actually kind of close. It's actually very close. The other thing that happened when they moved that forward, you didn't have column shift anymore. You didn't have room for that. So they put a floor shifter in it. It's for a drag car, it's great, but for a cruising car like this, it is not a very good shifter. When I first got the car, the shifter was backwards, and I didn't know this when I picked it up and drove it back to my shop. So all the way back was park, reverse, neutral, drive, 2, 1. All the way forward was first gear, second, and I didn't know this. So I started the car. It doesn't have a neutral safety switch or any shit like that. It is incredibly unsafe regarding that. So I put the car in what I thought was park, but it was actually first, and I started the car and it took off. And I was like, what the hell? And so eventually I like pulled it all backwards, and I was like, this is park, and I started the car and it didn't go anywhere. And then I figured out that it was all wired in backwards, or the whole shifter was mounted 180 degrees. My friend Natalie took care of that last year, year before. She pulled the console out, flipped the shifter around, got the cable set up. We need to do a little adjusting on the cable for shifting into reverse, but all the other gears work great. And she did a great job on that, getting that flipped around. So now it operates normally. You have park, reverse, neutral, drive, 2, 1. But it does have that B&M drag race shifter, which is not really conducive for a car like this that we're just cruising around in. It's not a drag race car by any stretch, although it could be. So I'll show you guys why. Now here's the hood release. You're gonna love this. Where is it? It's right here. It's this little hook, this little cable hook. You pull down on it, and it's hooked to the cable, the hood release over on this side. And this is a gigantic hood. You can remove it by yourself, and I have. It is way easier with 3 people. It is all solid steel hood. Let me get a light because you guys can't really see it. Do I have a light here? Yeah. Of course, it's stuck to a can. All right. So here we have, there we go. We have a 383 stroker crate engine from Blueprint that I picked up from Summit Racing last year. Awesome engine, 485 horsepower. It's already been dynoed. We maybe have 30 miles on this engine. We also are running a Holley Sniper EFI system. Carl started every time in any weather. That's why we went with the Sniper. Transmission is a GM TH400. How come the 400 over the 350? 350 is fine. There's nothing wrong with the 350. It is a great transmission. What this car needs is torque, and the 400 can handle a lot more torque than the 350. I like the 400. It's not going to be as fast, but I don't need a top speed car. I don't need a 200 mile an hour limo. That would be cool, but I don't need that. So we have a TH400 in there. It's going to be super robust. Like I said, the one thing I want to add in the back is a 12-volt rear, so we have posi. I might do a posi kit for the 10-volt. I haven't decided yet. We'll find out which is more cost-effective. And that's about it. This engine is fantastic. Blueprint does a great job with their engines, and they don't send out crap. They send out like a whole dyno sheet and spec and build and names and numbers and everything. You have full documentation on these engines, so they're really great. We have a new radiator in here. The original radiator gave up when there was a 305 in here, which the customizer put in with straight pipes. It was just 20 feet of exhaust going all the way back. And sorry, there's a bunch of mosquitoes right here. It sounded like just 2 trombones. It was so loud. It was obnoxious. It's not much better now. It's a little bit better, but it's still pretty loud. So the 305 that was in here died in the front, right in front of my shop. All of the fluids mixed, the oil, the ATF, the coolant, everything mixed. And it finally leaked out from the radiator, and everything was pink. The oil was pink, the coolant was pink, everything was pink. So that was the end of the 305. The 350, the transmission is probably okay. It can be cleaned up. 305 is all done. The old radiator is all done. So I got a new radiator, which is actually the exact spec for this car, but it's a dual core. This car runs about 10 degrees cooler than the original, which is cool. Hey, Liz. Yeah, Liz, you've seen this car before, so you kind of know a lot of this. Sorry if I'm doing a bunch of rehash. Oh, light died. Time to charge it. Or it's dying, I should say. So, very happy with the engine and transmission setup in here. I'm happy with the stuff we had. I did a brand new brake booster because the old one was kind of sketchy. We have new brake lines and brake calipers up front. The drums in the back are brand new. So when I bought the car, they had redone the drums in the back, thankfully, because drum brakes suck working on. They're not terrible. It's just there's a lot more fun stuff to do. So we have new calipers, and the rotors were fine. So we have new calipers and brake lines, all new brake fluid. We also have a line lock in here, so we can do huge burnouts with this thing, which would be a lot of fun. I don't know how well we're going to do burnouts with 2,000 pounds of water in the back, but we'll find it. We'll find a way. So eventually the car will have 4 batteries in it. We'll have 2 batteries up front, one for the engine, one for audio video, and then 2 in the back, one for the air ride system and one for the hot tub. So the car will have 4 batteries in it. That's about 200 pounds. This thing will weigh close to, I'm going to guess, 8,000 pounds with water and everything. We have a big pool at the shop that has all the, everyone guessed on what the final weight of the car is going to be with water and everything else in it. God, you can see these mosquitoes. I don't know if you guys can see them. They're huge. And I have the fan going, trying to keep them away from me, but all they're doing is blowing them towards me. As you can tell, there's no door handles on the car. They were shaved off, and there's no door handles inside the car. So what we use are, God, I love this thing. And of course I had to get gold Cadillac keys, right? This is the door popper, and it has this little antenna. Come on, tell me that's not cool as hell. So button number 1 is for the driver's side door, and it pops the door open like that. Now, we don't really have a big safety concern because we can just hop right out of the car. So we don't have a roof. So it's not really that big of a deal. As far as security, good luck stealing this thing. If you really want it, good luck. I'll probably be able to catch it. So the door poppers work great. And it definitely cleans up the look on the side of the car. You can tell that we need some paint work here. We have a small dent in the back, so it's definitely going to get repainted. Originally, it came with these horrific graphics. I don't know if you guys can see them on the hood. You can kind of see where some of the parallelogram graphics were. I couldn't take it, so I sanded it all down just really quick and just Kryloned it. It was driving me crazy looking at it every day. We're also on air. We have an air ride system in here that is fantastic. We can raise or lower about 8 inches. And when we're all the way down, we're about 1.5 inches off the ground. That's before the exhaust touches. The exhaust is our warning, not the transmission. So if the exhaust touches, not a big deal. It dents the exhaust. We know to raise the car up. If the transmission hits, we have much bigger issues. So we have the exhaust about 1/2 inch lower than the transmission. That's our warning, and that's our cheap warning. If we rip off a transmission pan, we have much bigger problems. So this thing will go a lot lower. I don't know. I guess I can show you guys. This is the controller. So, yep, that's about all the way down, I think, in the front, and then we'll go all the way down in the back. That's all the way down. So this thing is actually, compared to me, this is now at the middle of my thigh, and I'm 6'1", so that's how low it is. It makes it a lot easier for occupants to get in and out of the car, and for me as a driver, I don't have to open the door. I can just sit up here. It's actually pretty normal height. If you're shorter, you might have to hop up, but it's not terrible. So this works pretty good. This will be the general position it's in when the hot tub's rolling, just because it's a little more conducive to people going in and out. When we drive, it'll be up a little bit. That will kind of be cruising height, maybe a little bit lower. Something like that. And that will be cruising height. We can drive around like that, no problem. Our suspension won't bottom out. The cool part is Easy Air Ride is the company that did the air ride system. I talked with the owner. He was super, super cool. Definitely helped me out. And I explained the build to him because he's used to doing Monte Carlos and other Cadillacs and stuff like that. He's not used to doing limos, especially ones with 2,000 pounds of water in the back. So I did an upgrade and I got the dump truck airbags. And those are 3,500 pounds a corner, something like that. Yeah, 3,500 pounds or 3,800 pounds a corner times four. We're pretty much covered for whatever weight we put in this. Now I've had this car on a close course in Mexico at 85 miles an hour, and it's smooth as hell. I've had it about this ride height and just cruising. Engine runs cool, car handles just fine. You're not going to make, I'm not doing any drifting with it yet. I might, but it's not going to handle like the Viper. It's not going to handle like the Miata. You have to realize this stuff when you get in it. This is a car for cruising, and if you're doing the speed limit, you're going fast enough. That's what this car is. Don't try and do stuff that you can't do. So just be smart about stuff like that. It's not that hard. You don't get yourself in trouble if you're smart about stuff, and you still have a ton of fun. So, yeah, the hot tub is technically a 3-person hot tub. It's for a house, and it's not. It's not for a house. It's for a like a condominium or whatever, where they have the lovers corner in the hot tub. It's like for a hotel or whatever, where they have that. But it is a very big tub, and it definitely. We had 4 or 5 people when we did the initial ride with this, and it was fine in there. So it's actually a very big hot tub. Now they did shorten it. It's not quite as deep because of the car and the frame and everything else. So they cut off the floor, they trimmed off a whole bunch, and then they put the floor back on. So that works just fine. The hot tub does not leak, which is great. And there's a big drain. There's actually 2 drains. There's one that goes back to the aerator and the pump system. And then there's a main drain, which is a big, huge pipe, and that goes right to the ground. So if you want to, you can literally dump all of the hot tub onto the ground. It takes about a minute for it to completely drain out. So, yeah. What else do we have? I think that's about it. There's a bullet hole in the trunk, and I'm going to leave the bullet hole in there even after it gets painted. I just think that's fun, and I think it kind of gives character to the car. What else? There are no wipers, so taking this out in the rain, not going to work out. There's no heat, there's no AC. This is kind of hope for the best. And there's another fun one for you guys. One of these days, and if you guys want, you can go back and look on Facebook. It's like 4 years ago. My friend Chris and I did a Facebook Live when we picked this car up and drove it back to my shop, and it was absolutely terrifying. Only one brake caliper worked. The seats, you ready for this? Not bolted down. Neither of them. We didn't find that out until later on. The steering wheel on Cadillacs had the same thing as Corvettes. You had a telescopic steering wheel. So you had tilt and you had telescoping. You could pull it in and out. When they put that obnoxious $800, you guys can't really see it because of the glare on the lights. There's this crazy steering wheel in there. When they put the steering wheel in, they didn't tighten the lock screw for telescoping. So it slipped. So not only was the seat not bolted down, the brakes worked once on one caliper, and then 10 minutes later they worked again, and then they didn't work for those 10 minutes. But the parking brake worked, but the clock spring for the parking brake was not hooked up, the return spring. So you had to pull it back with your foot. So the steering wheel's doing this. Oh, and also the steering column in there, there's supposed to be 5 bolts where it comes to the firewall. There was only 1. So the steering column's moving like this, and it's moving like this. The seat's not bolted down. I'm trying to figure out the shifter, and I have Joey in my truck behind me as a chase vehicle laughing his ass off because he thinks it's the funniest damn thing he's ever seen in his life, while Chris and I are struggling to stay alive. And it's very funny. So one of these nights I'll tell the story about us driving back, because it was really funny. But it was, at the time, it was really terrifying. Now it's kind of funny. So, so that's about where we're at. I'm gonna, for now, the car's gonna go outside and then inside and outside and inside, just because the garage isn't deep enough. And while we're working on it, getting the plumbing done, the big thing I have to do right now is just the plumbing on the hot tub. And then most of this stuff works. It's smaller stuff. Obviously, there's no headlights. I have to do headlights if we want to drive it at night, which I think this thing would be super cool at night, especially with some LEDs on the deck. And, you know, this one is not a race car, so you can put weight on it. You can put obnoxious stuff on it. It's more fun than it is anything. And yes, those are 100-spoke Daytons with knockoffs. And they're super cool. This car originally came with these super donk 23s, 24s, whatever. The tires were 22 years old. Believe that shit? I can't believe I drove a car that had 22-year-old tires on it. Can't believe I went more than 2 miles an hour in a car with that. So those had to go. It was not on air. I did the air, just had the regular suspension with those 23s. It looked really silly. It looks way better with the 100 spokes and the knockoffs. And we have 50 series tires. I believe they're 275s all the way around. And they're just all seasons. They're nothing super special. Very comfortable ride. So that's what we were going for. We want a smooth ride because trust me, when water starts moving around in there, it moves and you can't stop it. It's like a little miniature tsunami. So ask me how I know this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the doors. When the car shipped down here, I stashed a whole bunch of stuff underneath the deck and in the trunk to ship down. And a lot of it is parts for the car, but a lot of it is also other stuff I need for the shop and stuff I need for the Miata. So I figured I would unload the car with you guys. You guys can ask me questions about it, and we'll have kind of some fun with it. I will be doing lives from the car, and we'll have a good time with it. I sent some pictures to friends today, and they're just absolutely cracking up. They're like, "This is the perfect car for Florida. You're gonna have so much fun with it. You got to take it to Cars and Coffee. You got to take it to Freedom Factory. You got to do all this stuff." So I have a big list of stuff already that I have to do. The downside is I'm not going to Naples Cars and Coffee tomorrow. That would have been fun as hell. But we'll eventually get down there. I'm sure all the Ferrari and Porsche guys and Lambo guys will appreciate what we've got here. So let's empty the car out. Now I do have to be kind of careful because I have the motorcycles here, and I did leave enough room on the other side with the Viper. This guy didn't work last time. Yeah, we have a ground issue in the back. Go, frog buddy, go. So I'm going to disappear for a second, but I will be back. There was a lead issue with the popper for that side. And this guy, I need my glasses. I need to see which charger he gets. I accidentally, when I put some of the boxes in, I pulled the lead off. I didn't mean to. He gets this. So he goes in here, charges that guy, and he's not charging that guy. This is our other charger. Let's see. He does not have any power. Oh, that's our other charger. I don't have the coordination to do this. Nope. Okay. So I know how to do that guy. Let's get this guy going on charge. He is one of the new ones. Somehow I keep managing to pull the USB. 2 O's. Okay. There we go. He's charging. Where's my third guy? I guess we'll just use our headband. By the way, if you don't have these headband lamps, they're awesome. Highly recommended. highly. So let me take a look here. I think the tank we have a couple of spare alternators because we will be running dual alternators on this. A wood block. I have a piece of Ipe, which I really wanted. Ipe is a wood from South America. Oh, and this is a air cleaner spacer. We will need that. Okay. We can move our tanks to the side. And I found a socket that will have to go back to Ohio. This is our relay panel. Oh, this is our big inverter. So we can pull him out. When you have a whole bunch of stuff that runs off 120 volts AC, you, especially something big, you will want a very big power inverter. This is a 3,000 watt power inverter. And this hooks up to your battery. And then the hot tub, pump, and aerator and heater plug into this. That's 1,500 watts. So this will handle it no problem all day. So that's why we have a big power inverter. Now, let me find the short here. He is part of this. And oh, that's the antenna. And for some reason, I think he's this pink wire that comes back. The wiring in here originally was so sketchy. So sketchy. The white wire we don't use. I think I still have a manual for that too. Hey, it's all the instructions for my Yeti cooler. I didn't realize that was in here. Okay. I don't really need the instructions for my Yeti cooler. I need to see if this guy, yeah, we found a socket. That'll have to go back to Columbus. We'll just put him up here. Where did the keys go? That's the worst part. I just had the keys. What did I do with them? I did not set them down. No. Bring this hose out. Get it? Hose? This is one of the lines from the Coleman unit to this, and this is where the adapter needs to go. So I just need to find the keys that I swear I had a minute ago. What the hell did I do with them? Did you guys see what I did with them? I didn't go very far. Not in my pockets. I did not set them down. Now I can't pop the doors, really? Losing my mind. They were just here. They were just here. I do have another door popper, but I would just like to find the original keys. I didn't set them down anywhere. They're not anywhere in the trunk. like on the battery back here or anything like that. Nope. It's a whole bunch of parts with jigs, but there are no keys. We can get this stuff out of here since we're back here. These are a bunch of AN fittings and small braided lines, plug wire guides, and for those of you that are doing, for those of you that are going to do heat, if you're going to do, I put them in here. No, this goes in here. For those of you that are going to run air lines close to anything that gets hot, the lines are usually ABS. Oh, sorry. The lines are usually ABS plastic or nylon, and they can melt very quickly, very easily. If you have a line that melts, it'll probably explode. Go get this stuff. This is a protective heat shield. Just opens up like that, and you can run your nylon lines through there. They come in different diameters. This one's a little bit smaller. Run this single. Sometimes you can do this one inside this one, and that kind of gives you double heat shielding. This will really protect your nylon lines. Anytime you run in near an exhaust or headers or anything like that, this is the good stuff. It's great for electrical lines too, because sometimes you short out on stuff. That always drives you crazy. You're like, what the hell am I shorting out on? So, like right now, I didn't set the keys down. Did I? I didn't put them back in the car. This is so insane. This is what I do most of the time. I look for shit that I lost. Like I just had it. These are the seat belts, because we need to make sure the car is legal, right? These are actually the original seat belts out of the car. So we'll put them in there eventually. But what the hell did I do with the keys? Oh, am I an idiot? I'm a total idiot. They're right there. So, no. Oh, come on. What was the wire that had such a problem? Is it this guy? Oh, wait. He comes over here, and then he goes over to the battery. No, but one still works. So, still power to the unit. I just don't have the other side opening. I think it's that pink wire right there. Maybe, maybe not. I have two relays here. Most of this stuff isn't hooked up because it's for buttons 3 and 4. So we only have this guy hooked up, which is our other power. Sorry, I know this is not thrilling. Oh, here's my other. No, is this my other lead? No. Nope. So for some reason, I think it's this pink wire in this relay. This is all of our main power. That's our main ground. pink. And then what's the other one that comes out? Yellow. Is there other yellow one? Oh, happy? No, it's got to be this pink guy. And it might just be the relay. This is the problem with electrical stuff, especially when someone else has been in here. If I showed you guys the relay panel that they did for this, you would laugh. It's on a piece of plywood. I'm also trying not to juice myself. So I don't know. Oh, wait, what is this guy? Where the hell is he from? He is from, he's from over here. He's from the old door poppers. Damn it. All right. Well, I am not going to screw with that. And I got sweat in my eye that's messed up. So I don't know. One works. Two does not work, which is, I don't know. I got to go get the manual now. Because everything's wired correctly to these relays. So I have both yellows. Oh, wait. Yeah. Both yellows are connected. Both reds are connected. And they go all the way up to the front. So, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I keep thinking it's the pink wire. Nope. Yeah. So, red comes up here. He connects to power. Yellow comes up and connects to power on the other side. And those guys are connected to power to the relay, which also does power. Okay, so everything has power. I don't know why it doesn't go. So that'll just make it a little more difficult. I'll get that stuff out of there later. You guys don't want to watch me struggle with electrical issues. I can promise you that. That is not very much fun. Can't believe I left the keys in the trunk lid. That's so sad. Let's see what we got. Black box. Yeah, they were still in the trunk lid. It doesn't have a electronic release for the trunk. Normally, I just keep the keys here or on the key ring, the key fob over there, whatever it is. But they were in the key lock. So here we go. This is the fun part. You guys are going to laugh at this. All right. So I'm going to move the air system controller over there. This is our PSI gauge for our air system. All right. 1 and 2, and there's our seat. So I'm going to go put him on the other side of the car. So yeah. I have no clue where these seats came from. They are simple low back seats. I'm going to move this back over to that side, and I'm just going to lift this seat up and out because there's room to do that, I think. So yeah, I don't know where these seats came from. But they work for the limo because they're low back. I just got some waterproof Amazon covers, and those are awesome. So we have our extension for our air jack. So my friend Scott for Christmas a couple years ago got me this air jack, and this is the little 4-inch extension. It's great. This is a very cool addition to the shop. I forgot to bring it down on my original trip. We have another very large pump. So we have a couple of these pumps for pumping into and out of the tub itself. So this is a big boy. They're like 4,000 and 5,000 gallon an hour pumps. They're pretty serious. So this is the fun part of the system. I'll bring it around for you guys to check out. This is the Coleman hot tub unit. Now, hey, he looks a little bit shorter because I cut the top off of him so that he fit in there. So this has all of your plumbing. Like I said, you saw the hose that goes from here to the hot tub, and that's why the adapter I have to make. And then inside of it, he has the pump and heater and aerator. So all of this fits inside, and it has one plug. That's it. There is a controller. We have an extension for this. My buddy Devin made this really cool controller cover plate. I'll probably redo it in white, but that's the original controller back there. So you can turn on bubbles, turn on heat, you know, whatever you want, all with the one controller, which is pretty cool. And then normally it sits on top of the unit, so you can just press whatever, but we need it remote because the unit's going to be stashed underneath the car. So we have that, and then here's the ribbon cable to do the extension. So, yep. And this just has two little handles, and these aren't very expensive. These are, I don't know, I think I got this one for $200. This part still works. The tub it had holes in it and wouldn't hold air. And I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't need the tub part. I'm just going to throw that out. I need the actual working stuff. And the guy's like, oh yeah, it works great. So we have some other fittings, and we have the chauffeur's hat. It's a little dusty. Yeah. And then we have some fittings here. There's some big ass cable. This is double aught cable. These are plumbing fittings for adapting it. Chauffeur's cap is absolutely necessary. And then there's some more pipe down here. And there's a big box, and I have no idea what's in this box. No idea what's in here. But it's out of the car. And we have some more pipe. This is just temporary PVC pipe with adapter fittings. So that's all the stuff, I believe, behind the passenger seat. Yep. So now comes the driver's seat stuff. So I'm going to move these cables. All right. So we have our grill. We're getting rid of that metal, and we're going to go with this, and he's going to be painted white, and he needs to be trimmed up a little on the corners and everything, but this will look a lot better than what's in here right now. It'll look a little more like a Cadillac. So set him right there. It's actually two Cadillac grills spliced together. We have our spare air pump. So in the car for the air ride system, we have two of these. These are 200 PSI air pumps, 12 volt, braided lines, very simple on and off with a plug. This is a spare, just in case we lose one of the because these things do go out. That's just part of their nature. It's a wear item. So have a spare one of those. And I believe the air system that I have in here is Viking. I think it's Viking units that I have. This is this a heater? I think this is, yeah, this is a big ass heater. So this is a heater. We probably won't use this in the system because we're going to be using the coolant from the car to heat the tanks in the back. So this is a big ass heater. You can adjust temperature there. Probably won't use this, but we'll keep it just in case. The less work that the Coleman unit has to do, the better. That's why we're going to heat it with the coolant from the car. And we have a box. And we have another box behind there. So I'm going to pull this box up. And come back here and reach that box. Oh, that box is moist. Yeah, he's all done. And that is it for behind the driver's seat. So this house is clear. You get that reference? You're as old as I am. So in here we have power inverter. We have a lot of wiring. And down here we have a MSD ignition set, which we're going to sell. Since we're going in with the distributor, we're just going to sell the MSD. Distributor works just fine. No complaints at all. And it's a clear distributor, so you can watch the blue spark like spin around. It's kind of cool. It's fun. This is a whole bunch of accessories. This is a drain kit. They don't make this anymore. This is an automatic drain kit for the air compressor. And there's a bunch of wiring in here, some double aught cable. There's my little drain plug. Oh, and he's full of crap. There you go. It's not full of crap anymore. There we go. And this is the license plate on the car. The tub. Thought that was kind of cool. That is the front plate. The back plate is in the back. So yeah, this is some wiring and accessories and stuff, and we'll just keep them in this case. Keep everything together. And that is an emptied limo. Wish I could get the other. I'll figure it out. I have the wiring diagram for, and it's so funny. It has a soft close trunk. This is 1980, and it has a soft close trunk. So you close it, and then it goes and pulls it closed all the way. Very cool. I didn't think they had that in 1980, but they did. So now the limo's empty. Got a whole bunch of the parts that I need, and we can get going on plumbing this thing up, and then, you know, testing with water and moving water back and forth. Plumbing is going to be the hardest part on this, but we have a great engine, great transmission. The whole driveline is awesome. I would trust this driveline for 5,000 miles, no problem. But I got to get the plumbing done. The plumbing is going to be very difficult. Going from house plumbing to bizarro inflatable hot tub plumbing. It's going to take a little bit. By the way, the fan looks really cool on video. Looks like stop motion. It's pretty cool. So now I forgot. I actually have to put the seat back in. Actually, I'll leave the seat out. I can still drive it without the seat. It is not comfortable, but since I'm going to back it out of the garage tonight, I'll just leave the seat out. So yeah, that's the limo. Once we get the plumbing done, it's little tiny things, you know, the headlights and small stuff like that. And getting a switch panel wired. I'd really like to get that. I have new connectors for the air ride control because the bullet connectors that came with it they're okay, they work fine, but there's a chance it could slip out, and then it's a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to get really nice click connectors to take care of those, and then yeah, the 2 extra batteries. Then we got to figure out what kind of cool lights we want to do on it. I figured we'd do the lights while it's in paint. Just for reference, paint on this is going to be about 10 grand. Yeah. We're going with Cadillac Diamond White, which is, I believe it's a 2005 color, 2002 color. It's a beautiful sparkle, not heavy sparkle, but sunlight sparkle white. And the entire car will get that. Even though there's no roof and not a bunch of doors and not a lot of stuff to mask off, it's a lot of paint. I mean, this thing is 8 feet wide and it's 25 feet long. So it's a lot of paint. Most of that is going to be materials. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Plus, I have to find a paint shop. I have a list of paint shops in Ohio. I don't know a single paint shop down here. So I'll have to talk to some of the car guys and take this around and see who gives me the best quote. So I hope you guys like the tour of the limo. Like I said, we're going to be doing more. I'll do more live streaming. It's again, I can't drive it at night because it doesn't have any headlights on it, but it does have LED taillights. When I say LED, it has a single LED, red LED, and a piece of plexiglass in the back. So it does have LED taillights. It's so silly. So we have to get new taillights for it. We'll get something like from a trailer, a cargo trailer that'll fit in there because it's a long vertical slot. So something from a cargo trailer will fit pretty well. And you can get cool designs, you know. The whole theme is going to be black and white. So we're going to keep that theme. We're not changing any of that. Black, white, and silver, like, you know, the chrome wheels. So that's going to be it. I'm probably going to get a steering wheel cover because that's a solid billet steering wheel, and it's going to get hot as hell in the sun. So I'll probably get a cheapo Amazon steering wheel cover for it just because it's going to cook your hands. So yeah, I don't want to be in the steering wheel is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Yeah, some touch-ups on the gel coat, which down here in Florida, you can find a boat place. There's fiberglass places all over, literally in the neighborhood. So not worried about that part. The paint is going to be the big time consumer and probably the biggest expense on this car. The engine was a pretty big expense, but paint I think is going to be a bigger expense. There's very little rust on the car. The whole inside floor is all truck bed linered. There's a little patch behind the driver's seat, about 12 inches by 6 inches. And that's just where water is spilled through and sat. That's the only corrosion on the car. The rest of this car, it's been stored inside most of its life. It only has 55,000 miles on the chassis. So it's actually in very, very good shape. And a lot of stuff when I was underneath the car, a lot of stuff got truck bed linered, got protected, just, you know, trying to take care of it so it doesn't corrode anymore. So that's the plan with this car. We'll keep it going, and you know what I'll do? I'll pull it out of the garage for you guys so you can kind of hear how loud it is, or at least hear it start, and then yeah, I'll come back and sign off with you guys. So give me a second to get in the car and God, this is so ridiculous. Okay. It's like that one class in 8th grade that you never wanted to go to. You knew it was fun when you were done with it, but you're like, I don't want to go to, you know, whatever, English lit, whatever. You're just like, I don't want to do that. But in the end, it was actually really fun. So we'll Open up the door again, just so it's a little easier. I want to check PSI here. Oh, and the carpet in here is actually just like black AstroTurf. Yeah, we're okay on pressures. So I'm going to leave pressures where they're at and leave that control over there. And you guys are going to hear the fuel pump. It's a high pressure fuel pump, and it's all the way back on the frame back there, but it's really loud. It's like 80 PSI. So don't freak out. So yeah, I'll pull this back, and then I'll come back with you guys. Hopefully the mic works. This is so weird. So like I'm standing up in the car now, and then I have to balance my back on the backrest here and then work the pedals. So yeah. So we give it a second for the fuel pump to pressurize and for the computer, for the sniper to kick on, and then make sure we're in park. Car starts right up. Okay. The floor isn't flat, so your feet are in very odd positions when there's no seat in here. And you can tell the car's cold. Oh, come on, brakes. All right. We'll just get some oil going around. There we go. All right. Not too obnoxious, I don't think. My neighbors will let me know if it's too out of line. And yeah, I think it's time for a new diff. I have a. Oh, look at that. Where the hell did that come from? That's new. That's ATF. All right. Well, got to go into the car and find out where the hell that's coming from. Speedometer cable? I don't know where the hell that's coming from. Just when I said the car doesn't leak. I knew about the diff seal, but I didn't know about that. So let me grab some cat litter here. Get that taken care of. Damn. Okay. By the way, recommendation for a shop: box of cat litter, solo cup. It'll soak up all this stuff. You don't need a ton. There is, of course, super expensive oil pickup stuff. Cat litter works great in most cases. It's super cheap, and it's available pretty much everywhere. And there's barely any diff fluid leaking. I don't know why we have a transmission leak. I'll have to look at that. The one thing I'm thinking is speedometer cable. It's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Everything else is sealed on the car, so pretty simple. And it's nice when it's a simple thing like this. Like if you get into an Audi or something like that and your transmission's leaking, it's going to be a huge mess, and you're like, where the hell's the leak coming from? So with the TH400, it'll be very easy to spot. Yeah, I don't know where that it's coming from the front. Maybe front main seal on the trans. I don't know. I'll have to look underneath there. So we're going underneath the car tomorrow. We're going to spend all weekend with the limo, making sure that we get it running and driving perfect. And it's a ton of fun. It's going to be great when it's all done. It has these little tiny things, like doing lights on the front. So we'll get all this stuff taken care of, and hopefully you guys will be along for the whole ride. I would love that. And if you have any questions, comments, anything else, please, shoot me a message here, Facebook, Messenger, text, whatever, and I'll gladly get back to you. If you want to come by the shop, let me know. You guys are welcome to come by here and join me for any of this stuff. And we'll be doing more stuff this weekend. The nice part about having the air ride system is I can raise the car up and just kind of slide underneath. I don't have to do jack stands or ramps or anything like that. It's kind of helpful. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's a solid night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we'll be back here. I guess we'll come back tomorrow and do some more stuff on the limo. I want to get that other door popper fixed. It's driving me crazy. So I'll look up in the manual and find out where the hell that is. Yeah, we'll have a good time with this, and I'll definitely let you guys know, what events we're going to, and I'll try and bring back video of events we have gone to. So hopefully we all have fun with it. Yeah. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. I'll catch you tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.